We just finished watching F9.
Yes,
And we didn't care about this so much, we're just going to go straight into it.
Okay.
I'll show you how it's done. Shazam!
So F9, Nick. F9 stars the F9 is Fast and Furious 9 for those who don't know, and it is a continuation, the ninth installment of the Fast and Furious franchise.
But yeah, it's the newest one. They make these like every other year, so odds are you probably know about them.
It's been 3 years. They probably would have made it sooner if it wasn't for COVID. I actually seen all of them. Nick only seen F6, so he had no real
Yeah.
understanding of the story so far. But honestly,
Yeah, so for all you Fast Furious fans, just take my words with a grain of salt from a person with a very different perspective.
But honestly, I mean, for Fast and Furious, however, I mean, it doesn't really matter because every film's like the same exact thing. And this film fell right into that wheelhouse. I mean, we have a big, crazy, ridiculous fight against somebody that's not even... Shit doesn't even make sense for them to be fighting. And then there's themes of family sprinkled in there. Then they do some ridiculous over-the-top thing. For this movie, it was going to space.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things here that just kind of defy physics.
Yeah,
Like the whole thing,
definitely
the whole thing with the bridge. It's like that's not how gravity works.
Exactly. And on top of that, when it comes to people landing, when cars are moving like 100 miles per hour plus, and then you're falling, and then Dom Toretto's using a steel car, a metal car for you to land on, I'm surprised none of them have any broken bones or cuts or anything like that. It got to the point where they even with fucking what's his face?
Yeah, what's his face makes jokes about that.
Ronan's character, which is played by Tyrese Gibson, was making jokes about how they never get hurt.
Yeah.
All the ridiculous things they've done. That's how bad it fucking got.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, to me, that's a huge problem in this series.
And then at the end of all the films, they always have dinner when he played some Spanish reggaeton hit, and that's it. And then you have a Fast and Furious movie. This actually began in a flashback when Dom was a kid and his father was murdered.
Yeah.
In a race.
That was interesting.
Yeah, and then so that was interesting. Like they actually sprinkled this movie with a whole bunch of flashbacks of John Cena's
John Cena
and Dom as kids, and how that story of how their father got killed, and then realizing that John Cena's put some shit in his father's car that made it blow up. So Dom blamed him, and then and then they raced, and Dom said, "If you win, go away, never come back." And he took that shit to heart, and then he came back as a spy. You know what I mean? So they really... So one thing is interesting... One thing that was interesting about this movie was that they had this brother dynamic, the sibling dynamic. Living his brother's shadow, you know what I mean? So I thought it was going to be really bound to the death with these brothers. And then no, by the final act, the rich boy turns on Cena, and Cena's automatically with the good guys now.
Yeah.
And nothing... And the climax is very anticlimactic.
It's very weak.
It's probably one of the weakest climax ever. I mean, nothing really happened. You know what I mean? Like, at least F7 had an exciting climax, exciting fight scenes. It wasn't a real fight scene between John Cena and Dom.
Not really.
I mean, not really. You know what I'm saying? You just had fucking Tej and Roman going to space, whatever, to intercept this transmission with this fucking cube, this fucking spirit that can do anything.
I think it's a real shame they ended up that way because a lot of the build up between Vin Diesel and John Cena, especially the flashback scenes. Yeah. I thought the flashback scenes were the best part of the movie.
Yeah, because it added drama and added nuance to the story, and it fueled to the brooding war that's lingering between these two. I thought it was gonna end in a big brutal fight between these dudes. No. And that never happened. They just said fuck it.
Yeah, it's a complete anticlimax.
The whole third act was anticlimactic. They just rushed through it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At least the other ones had interesting climaxes. You know what I mean? Fun with fight scenes. You know what I mean? Nothing. This was the most boringest Fast Furious. It started off decent. So you had those flashbacks. But then it did nothing with it at the end. So I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, what's the point of a Fast Furious movie if you're not gonna get that climactic, you know what I mean, monumental, colossal fight sequence, destruction sequence? You know what I mean? What's the point? You know what I mean? Cypher came back for a little bit to just manipulate the rich boy and John Cena. You know what I mean? And then she tried to fly a drone, and then that shit got blew up, and that was it for her.
Yeah.
Everything was just simple. Nobody really died. You know, I mean, there's no sense of danger.
I completely agree. Like, none of the... Like, there's a lot of scenes that should be really exciting, but you don't really feel any tension because you don't believe that any of these fuckers are going to die.
Yeah, and this is pretty much how all the franchises has been. Because this is just a fun family action film. It's not, as you said, similar with that show we won't mention. It's kind of just for casual audience. It's not meant for, like, real thinkers and real students of film and cinema and... You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it's not really made for that. It has its audience, it embraces that.
Yeah.
And I kind of respect that to an extent.
Yeah, that's why I like the older ones better, but nowadays it just seems like a money grab at this point.
Yeah, I do.
Because they just get more ridiculous and more ridiculous and that's not the route you want to go. You want to go, how can I add on to the story? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because at this point, when I was younger, that would have been so fun to me. I thought this was great, like, because I was younger, stupid, didn't understand shit. You know what I mean? I just wanted to be entertained. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I had a more simpler view of the world. But now I'm getting older, more mature, smarter. You know what I mean? I think deeper. I want some things that will make me more think. That's what captivates me is thinking. Yeah. Not like just like give me spectacle. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's just how we've grown as.
Boring.
But yeah, that's just how we've grown as audience members. Like our tastes have just changed.
And studying film also changed, and studying stories changed that too. Because I got to the root of what I like in movies, and it's not fucking action. It's about the story. Are your characters compelling? Can I vibe with your main character? Can I take a ride on his journey? Mm-hmm. You know, and this didn't really do it for me at all.
Yeah, I didn't really feel an emotional connection to anybody. Like it's like overly reliant on the other films to establish that connection for it.
Absolutely.
Because I imagine most people who like this movie are going to be people who are already like familiar with the franchise. I can see those people, like, they probably are already really attached to these characters. They probably like seeing them again. I can totally understand why they would like this movie.
But to me, it doesn't even have that. I mean, like, I thought 5 to 8 did a much better job of making those kind of movies. I thought 9 was just weak. They didn't do nothing with seeing this character towards the end. That was it. It just resolved too quickly.
Yeah.
Nothing really came of it. You're building up this tension between the brothers to not have anything pay off.
Exactly.
I felt like a waste. I was actually getting excited. I was thinking at one point, this is going to be one of the better ones because they really go far through with this with the flashbacks. It was really hyping this shit up. Mm-hmm. So this, and then that scene where John Cena is locked up and he's seeing Dom embrace Han, he's getting jealous because the whole point was that you took his family and you have a family. He's jealous of that.
Yeah.
I thought they're feudals. I'm like, that's going to be a big fact towards the end. I'm like, this is going to be really explosive.
But no.
No, that's it. Hey, I got betrayed, so I'm with you guys, and I'm going to get a second chance, and that's it. Fuck off.
I feel like all of these things that we were discussing, including that added on, it just makes me think that this movie exists to promote the next one.
A word. That's exactly how it feels. Exactly how it feels, and that's it. I'm just done.
Yeah.
And the opening like action sequence, the cars, that wasn't even that fun.
Yeah, I really wasn't.
That wasn't even entertaining. F7 did a much better job in my opinion. I give this movie like a 2, just for that alone. And I think I'm being generous. What you give it?
Like, I'll be a little more. I feel like being a little more generous just because I understand what the audience of this kind of movie would like in a movie like this. So I feel like a 2.6 is like a little more fair.
I'm not bumping. 2 and that's me. 2.6, cool. That's our score. That's how you feel about the movie. Watch it if you want to watch it for mindless entertainment. But if you're a person that loves cinema, loves storytelling, you know what I mean, you're engaged or more like, you know what I mean, stuff that makes you not even just think the stuff that's more like better told stories. Mm-hmm. Even on a simpler scale, this is probably not the fun film for you. This is for simple, mindless, fast cars. A couple of action sequences, some guns going off, some jets flying, some space shit, and maybe a couple of funny quips. If you just want some simple shit like that, and enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Go nuts. Go to the theaters, 40X with the fast cars, and you have some fun.
What is it? It's mind-boggling.
It's a person. Yeah, someone's coming.
But who is it? I've never experienced a power like this. It's outrageously strong. It could be a new enemy. Boys, stay close. What? I don't believe it.